Okay. Okay guys, part 2, continuation of previous video.
1,000 years ago. Many nations in this world are growing similar crops that we are growing, getting much better yields, but using 10 to 20% of the water that we are using, simply because they have brought in technologies. We had a few Vietnamese experts with us. They stayed here for 4 days and we were discussing many things. They said, shifting from paddy to fruit cultivation in their country, farmers' income has gone up 20 times over, 2,000%. We were amazed, how does it happen 20 times? They're laughing at us. They're saying, 20 years ago we came to India, studied in Indian universities. We took this knowledge and implemented it. You got PhD. So there is a huge knowledge base, but there is no agency, because in India everything is operating in silos. There is a university, there are academics, there are scientists, and the farmer is another world by himself.
Correct.
We want to set up agencies which will bring this knowledge to the land, so that these things, if we don't do now, we can't be going on doing things that we did 1,000 years ago. Even now, if you go in many parts of the country, we are still ploughing with a wooden plough, okay? We think it's romantic. There's nothing romantic about it, it's just that it is before Iron Age. Do you understand? I'm talking before Iron Age we were ploughing with wooden ploughs. We are still ploughing with wooden ploughs. Nobody gave that farmer a better plough. I'm saying we've just left them like this. 65% of the population is involved in farming. They are the people, today we are all sitting here and talking because somebody is us. The food doesn't come from the supermarket, the food comes from the land. This magic of turning soil or mud into food is not a small thing. You try to grow a crop and see what will happen to you. You may be very well educated, but you can't do it. It needs a certain intrinsic knowledge as to how to do this. So the person who does this magic for us of turning mud into food, we have treated them so badly that in the last 10 to 12 years, over 3 lakh farmers have committed suicide. Whenever these farmer suicides happen, the explanations that you will see in the media is that because the tomato prices dropped, he committed suicide. Because of some bank loan, he committed suicide. Believe me, if you and me get into farming, on a land which is not fertile, and there is not adequate water, it will drive us to suicide.
Exactly. Correct.
Because it's a heartbreaking activity to do that.
Very much hard.
Today, the soil in India is depleting in such a way, it is estimated in next 40 years, 60% of India will be uncultivable. The Rally for Rivers is about coming up with a comprehensive policy which is enforceable and implementable. So this needs the concurrence of state and center. Fortunately, the states have concurred. Center will definitely go with it because we've already consulted them on this. So the people also have to stand up and make their stand clear that long-term policy means all of us will have to go through some pain. That we are willing to go through this little pain for the future well-being of this nation is the statement that you're making when you do this missed call. Entire Telangana, all of you the stars, must make sure entire Telangana and Andhra Pradesh should make the call, yes. And anyway, I have to say this, both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh governments are doing a fabulous job with water. No other state in the country is doing what is being done here. It's very progressive, very wonderful to see that they're doing it. It's the right thing to do. This Mission Kakatiya or something, the lakes and ponds, and also the Harita. This is the way to do it in a tropical country. What we've been doing in the past is all transplanted from Europe or North America. We must understand European nations receive nearly 225 days of rain in a year. But we have only 40 to 45 days rain. And this is a tropical country where temperatures are at least 15 degrees higher than what is there. So we cannot transplant those policies, we cannot transplant those methodologies. tropical country has to handle this way. Right now what's being done in these two states is the best thing that can be done. There are other scientific aspects to it. We're looking forward to work with the governments to see how we can introduce other dimensions to it. But this is definitely the right direction what they're taking. Any questions?
Thank you, Sadhguru. I think you've created such a large awareness, much needed of the art right now. Once the director, no names to be taken, he told me, Charan, I'm making a movie in the future. It's a war-based movie, a couple of years back, and he said it's the concept of the war is a fight for water. I thought he was a mad guy. That he had no other better cause for a war apart from, not usually it's land and everything. Now I realize what a foresight he had, that this is happening actually. Drinking out of plastic bottles, we think we are all fine sitting at home. How has been the response to it? It's been the 14th day.
I said only 2 chief ministers I had to meet to convince. Others I just wrote a letter and they responded.
On a larger scale, we understood planting horticulture on either side of the river.
So the important thing is the land should be in shade. If organic, to call soil as soil, according to the UN standards, there must be a minimum of 2% organic content. But in states like Punjab, Haryana, Marathwada, southern Tamil Nadu, some parts of Andhra Pradesh, the soil, organic content in the soil has become 0.05%, not 0.5, 0.05%. This means this soil will turn into sand in the next 3 to 5 years' time. We are making soil into sand by taking away all the organic content. The only way you can add organic content to the soil is the leaves of the trees and the animal waste. The trees are gone long ago and animals are all traveling overseas. See, if you cut an animal and eat, that's not the problem. The problem is when millions of animals are going away, what is going away is not meat. What is going away is topsoil. India has an average of 15 inches of topsoil. And every year we are taking out 5.3 billion tons of topsoil, which is little more than a millimeter. So just make a simple arithmetic and tell me, how many years is it before we are a total desert? People estimate in about 250 years, India will be a total desert if we go the same way. This is not rocket science. Every farmer knew, if I have 10 acres of land, how many animals I should have, how many trees I should have, is something that's always known to the farmer. But today we have very too much of textbook science and very little sense, unfortunately.
We have a lot of budget allotted for irrigation or other departments which is concerned to this rally. You think our governments are not reacting as fast or they're not reacting at all?
As I said, these 2 states, they're doing a wonderful job. The amount of greening that's happening in these 2 states is phenomenal. Nowhere else is it happening. We have done a lot in Tamil Nadu, but as an organization, not as a government. We have planted over 32 million trees in the last 14-15 years' time. But that is a private effort. If the government was there, we could have made this into 32 crores probably. Now they are saying in Telangana they have a plan to plant some 290 crore trees or saplings. Well, that's the way to go. Now we have an MOU with Maharashtra where we are planting 50 crore trees in the next 4 years. We have an MOU with Karnataka where they are planting 25 crore trees along Kaveri banks in the upper riparian area. This is the way to go. It is not like one NGO plants 10,000 trees and they are very happy. Somebody plants 1 lakh trees and they are very happy. This is not the way to go. It has to become an administrative process. It has to become governmental. Individual people, organizations doing is nominal. It is not really a solution.
I have a question. Okay, so my question, it's actually two questions. So everyone thinks that organic food is only for the rich. So can you please tell us something about that? And also, how do we make farming cool? I mean, I don't think farming is cool.
No.
So how do we make farming cool if we want more people to do more agriculture?
See, whatever ideas they
Hold
have
on
in
guys,
urban
continue in
areas,
next video. Hold on.
I must tell you, even today,